All right. So I have here today Mary with me, who we just did a couple of sessions with, and she's here to share with us about her past life experience and a little bit about working with Lyme disease. So welcome, Mary.
Thank you.
So tell me, what was it that led you to seek out a past life regression session?
Two reasons. One is that it's something that I've always wanted to learn and understand about myself, maybe where I came from, who I am. And secondly, I needed to find some answers regarding a medical situation that I had, and I was hoping and learning that sometimes a past life can aid and assist and find answers to healing in your current life.
Mm. And what were some of the things that you had tried previously um, to find those answers?
Uh,
Mm.
as far as getting answers to past lives or getting answers to healing,
The answers to healing.
um, tried a lot of different modern medicine, alternative healing techniques, detoxing techniques, lots of different uh, ways to reduce stress, to eliminate symptoms, things like that. Those are the types of things I was doing prior to
And so that you were looking for another avenue that would be able
help heal.
to help
Yep.
heal. So we had a conversation with uh, the part of you, the part of the body that was expressing the Lyme disease. And you could just share with us, what did you experience from that session, from speaking to that part that was
That part.
that
Yeah. That
disease?
was really interesting. I was not expecting that. Um, that part shared with me that I was experiencing some holding of negative emotions myself for the feelings of someone in my life that I had perhaps hurt because I had moved away. And because I had moved away, I was taking on all of the negative emotions that I believe and I perceive that this person was feeling, and being able to talk to the disease and learn and understand that really gave me confirmation that the timing of when I moved made a lot of sense with the timing of my symptoms for my Lyme disease. That greatly increased. So it was an understanding at that point of the types of things that I then needed to let go of in order to help myself heal. And it's kind of that emotional energy work that we have to do to release those feelings or those ideas that we have in our head, in order to remove the negativity and to start the healing process.
Hmm. And so we did do some of that work. So what was, well, first of all, I mean, were you surprised uh, that there was this connection there, or did you kind of have an,
Like, I, I think I was surprised at how I was able to meet the disease face on and have a conversation with it. That was surprising to me. I wasn't surprised as to what the outcome of that conversation was, but I guess I didn't realize I could actually have a conversation with the disease and find out the root cause, the emotional distress of it that was lingering. That was the surprising part for sure.
And what did you learn about yourself?
I learned that I need to let go and not concern myself with the feelings or the worries or the concerns of others, that it does not serve me, and it physically literally made me sick.
Yeah. And would you be willing to just kind of share a little bit about, the healing process that we went through in that session?
So it was really quite beautiful, the way we first addressed the disease, spoke to it, asked it questions to try to get answers. And then what I found to be the most beautiful is when you and I were working together on finding that peace and being able to let go of the things that I was holding on to for the emotions of other people and start introducing that light and that peace and that ease back into my body and remove the heaviness and the negativity and the kind of like the wiring and the data that I had always been telling myself about my disease completely changed. My mindset changed after that session. I
Mm.
was able to recognize that I was in control. My mind was in control of the body and the body's reaction to maybe a stressful situation that might have normally caused it to flare in the past. But now I've rewired the programming in my mind that I don't allow those feelings or those triggers to happen to me anymore. Hence my symptoms. I haven't had any.
Oh, wow.
Hmm. And not only have I not had any, but I feel at ease. I feel like things come, I don't want to say easier, but just more natural, like without hardship or difficulty, just the way they should, just at ease.
Mm. Yeah, that's a good choice of words. So that's amazing how just the way you started to think differently towards the thought patterns that you were having, how much that affected everything else that you were doing and experiencing. So tell me about what some of those things were. Like, how did that you said that you didn't have any more of the symptoms, so that you're experiencing less hardship with your health. What about like with your work and your relationships, just other activities that you were involved in? How
Yeah, so
what about into those areas?
in the past, the stress of a work day or the stress of maybe even just the physical body sitting in the chair for 8 hours in the past, that would have been enough to cause a flare up. And I think that my mind, again, it goes back to my mindset being different now. I don't see things as being challenging or stressful. I see things as being interesting to learn. It's like I did a paradigm shift and I just have a far more positive spin on it. Like, here's a better example. In the past, I would experience this certain pain in my leg. And when I would experience that, it could have been a matter of minutes or hours, I would have been in a wheelchair.
Mm,
Now, and it's only happened twice, but now when I've experienced that pain, my mind doesn't go to, uh-oh, hurry up and find the wheelchair or hurry up and find a place to sit down because you're about to lose your ability to walk. My mind goes to, I just say, oh, that's my muscle growing. And I continue to do whatever activity it is I'm doing, and I don't think about grabbing a wheelchair, and I don't need to grab a wheelchair. It's my thought process that's changing.
mm.
And it's telling my body, this is how we behave now. When we
Yeah.
feel that, we think differently and we behave differently now.
Yeah, I like that. This is how I'm telling my body to behave now.
Mhm.
And your body says, okay.
Yep.
And I also like that you mentioned that when you notice that you're experiencing something, that you just notice and say, oh, this is interesting. Do you think that having a conversation with your body has helped you to be able to look at, oh,
Absolutely.
it's a part of me that I can now look at as finding interesting, that has useful information rather
Yeah.
than, oh no, this means this or this means that.
Yeah. It's exactly right. It's me dictating the terms of my body and my life essentially, really.
Yeah, that's fabulous. Dictating the terms of your body, and therefore it obeys.
Yeah. It's amazing.
It's yes, it is. So after that, we did do the past life regression, and this was very interesting because you encountered a very peaceful tribal community, and you also had a series of themes of where you were in places that you were very deeply connected to the earth, and I'd like for you to share what you learned and experienced from those.
Yeah, I thought it was really fascinating that in the past 3 lives, there were the common themes. The common theme, 1, I was always a male figure. 2, I was always working with the soil, the ground, the earth. It was my job, so to speak, in my past 3 lives. And then, the other theme that came up was we noticed a theme with cliffs in those as well. So I thought that those were interesting themes that kept coming up in all 3. Yeah.
Mhm. And what did you learn about yourself from or connections that you may have made to your life now?
Well, one I didn't share with you. When I was much, much younger, a little girl, I used to have dreams that I would have barnacles on my body, and I would have to scrape those off. And hence, that was one of my jobs in a past life. So I found it interesting that in this life, I was having a reoccurring dream of something that I was doing in a past life. But the one that really stuck with me was in the life where I met the tribal community. Um, I had left my community just as I had left my hometown that I grew up in, and I left my family and friends. And it is apparent to me that I was holding on to some negativity about their feelings regarding me leaving. And that came up in my life with the tribal community as well. I had left them, and it didn't feel as though the way I left them sat very well with them, if you will. And so here in a past life, I had this struggle. And then again, in this current life, I had this struggle. And so much so that, I developed a illness, a disease. Um, I shouldn't say I developed it. Let's say that maybe my disease symptoms became increasingly more um, intense and problematic after that incident. So I thought those two correlations were very interesting.
Mhm. And so overall, how has your life improved from these two different sessions that you had, the past life and one where we worked at the parts of the Lyme disease? Just what have been your general insights and improvements in your life since then? Oh, and
Yeah,
we also did I did a an audio recording for you as well.
yeah,
Oh,
yes, we did. So um, I listened to my audio recording that you prepared. I listen to it about every other day now, and it I've noticed that since our sessions, I have this ability to really be very cognizant and aware of the things that I put into my body as far as food and beverages. I am far more discerning of the way I treat my body. And it's it comes very naturally to me. I don't have to struggle with, oh, there's a can of soda in the refrigerator and I'd really like to have it. I just don't have a desire for the sugars and the processed type foods. I'm just naturally leaning towards healthier choices and decisions. And that goes as far as sleeping, sleeping, walking, getting outside, getting fresh air, stretching. I'm just naturally making healthier decisions with ease. It's not like I struggle for it or it's a challenge to be good. It's just very easy to do. And I just found that to be really cool.
that is really cool. I mean, because you think about how often so many of us, when we try to change habits, there's just so much push and struggle and fight and just for something to just flip a switch and for it to just be easy is
Yeah.
a wonderful thing. Well, is there anything else that you would like to share? Any final thoughts?
It's just been a very beautiful experience. Even the recording that you had prepared for me, it still brings me to tears just because it's just been a game changer for me.
Mm.
Um, Something that I can use moving forward for the rest of my life. It's been wonderful.
Yeah, I was very happy to do that and and to I did try to think about you and your needs and to make it just for you.
It was very personalized. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much for sharing your story and I've so enjoyed um being part of this journey with you and I'm so happy for your progress. So, thank you
Thank
for
you.
the call today.
Thank you.